Hello and welcome to Knights of Eveningstar, a new D&D show here on the Wizards D&D channel. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes. It's going to happen again. Welcome, friends, as we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome. I hope you are all well on this fine. Is it still Tuesday in America? I think so. I'm not sure. It's Wednesday here. Time travel.
It's still like March 2020, but
yeah,
that's true.
I'm pretty sure it is
in
Tuesday.
March 2020, but just Tuesday, the 729th of March 2020.
well, it is Groundhog Day today, so you know it fits with the
is.
whole movie thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you've ruined my whole adventure idea, Mica. No,
Shit.
just welcome, wonderful players, as always in Knights of Eveningstar. We are joined by Mica Burton, Anna Prosser, Nate Sharp, Jonathan Indovino, aka ShadyPenguinn. Hello, everyone. Everyone is enjoying a little snack. Everyone's enjoying a little chit chat, a little bit of a laugh. But we are going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. But how is everyone? Are we all good? Yeah, thumbs up from all round. Okay, great. I'll just keep talking. It's fine.
Mark, really quick. Is a
yeah.
snack actually like slang for a chat? Like you
no.
said,
But
didn't you
there
say?
are people eating.
Oh, I didn't. I'm pretty dense. Never mind. I thought it was just like a really like how British people say all these weird
you wanna
things.
have a snack,
like,
mate, let's go have
It's
a
a
snack.
delicious
Did you think it was like
conversation.
that?
yes,
Yeah,
I'm going to start that. A good conversation is now called a snack.
But
You
I
heard
thought
it
a
here.
hot
You can
person
do
was a
what that-
snack. I thought
It'll
you
get
would be
really
like
confusing.
a snack.
Well, a
Somebody
hot
can be a
person
snack.
with good vocals.
You could
is
have a snack with a snack.
Yeah, it's a snack.
But what about the snack that smiles back? That's
a
gold.
snack attack. I like that one, Nate. I like that snack attack.
Shady, were you laughing at my horrible joke?
Both. I liked both.
Thank you.
Right. Well, let's get this madness out the way. Whilst people get everything ready to play some D&D, I do have a little recap for you. Just to kind of go over what happened last episode, because it was a fun one last week. Some new things got set up, and we got some things to sort out today. So here we go. Last time on Knights of Eveningstar, our party have returned from a ruined village called Red Spring, where they'd gone to aid their companion Marcel in searching for clues about a mysterious cult called the Scions of the Shattered Light. In the depths of the earth, they found these robed mages performing magical rituals in a strange alien lair, and a bargain was struck that resulted in Marcel parting ways with the group. On a sad and somber trip home, the party and their forces were ambushed by a group of fey beings. During the battle, 3 strangers leapt out to aid them, a trio of Leonins of the Wildmane Pride, led by one figure who introduced himself as Clive, a boisterous warrior of the Feywild who had come seeking the nobles of Eveningstar. With their new guests, the party returned to the village, where new opportunities await them, and that is pretty much where we are this week. It's going to be one of those weeks where it's kind of a bit over to you guys, maybe setting some things up in what we want to do, where we want to go, what we're going to progress with, and that is pretty much it. Yeah. Any questions before we kick off?
How are you, Mark?
I'm well, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Mica. I'm well.
Yay.
Freshly shaved, baby face, as people have pointed out, like some sort of shock horror. I am freshly faced, ready to go. But yeah. So.
Well, that was my question, so I'm
That's
done now.
a wonderful question to ask. I appreciate it. Well, you guys, like I said, it is a fresh new day. Tarkhal has had pleasant dreams of his missing friend, Willow Song, who he has been learning magic from. But the rest of you awaken in Starwatch Keep, the castle that looks over the village of Eveningstar. It is a fresh, I believe we are entering summer, I believe, as we had taken a long time skip during the previous season. And yeah, it is, the sun is rising. There is a kind of fresh, not quite buzzing of insects, but you begin to hear like animals and birds kind of outside amongst the Kingswood and along the mountains, and the hustle and bustle of the keep as your soldiers prepare themselves and everything else. And yeah, I hand it over. Would anybody like to do anything?
It's not tax time yet, right? We don't get more money.
Oh
You
yeah.
do not get more money, I'm afraid. No, I did
Okay.
go through and had a little examination of your funds and things like that. But you've got at least sort of three. You've got like 3 months really before another tax season comes in. It's per season in Cormier.
Gotcha.
So every 3 months there's like a tax. You get some money. The crown will demand their share of it all. You will make some income, but you do have some money in the treasury, I believe.
We have 1,250 gold.
Indeed.
I keep notes.
Good notes. Good notes.
Thanks.
But yeah, the town is bustling as always. It has swelled in population over the course of your kind of last 3 months or so of adventuring, the events in Arabelle and everywhere else. It's still a village. You don't have any city walls or anything like that, but new buildings are being constructed. People are beginning to set up new homes and farms and things like that. But yeah, it is increasing in size. Eveningstar.
I remember that Agnes had invested in the development of like fire extinguisher technology. Did she already have that, or was she waiting on it to exist? And should she go pick it up?
I don't. When you say you invested in fire extinguisher technology, I remember there being a kind of desire to have such magic.
You said I could ask like an alchemist or something to develop that for me.
Yeah, I believe that Hulda was working on something that could maybe help diminish fires.
Mhm.
I think that's definitely going to take a little bit of time to create, because it will need to create a whole new alchemical formula to do it. But
It's
yeah,
been time, Mark.
it has been some time. Your DM has not prepared it for this episode, so it's going to take a bit longer time. So there's that. But
Right.
I will make a note. I'll put it on my notes now. Fire extinguishing alchemy.
I know I said it off game. I don't know if Azara officially started the research in game.
Sure.
But I'm now making it a formal request, or if I could like backtrack that formal request into looking into possibly either hiring a magical tattoo artist to come to us, or seeking one out in a larger city state somewhere.
Sure.
Taking advantage of that Tasha's Cauldron, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that something like that, the city of Arabelle or the capital city of Suzail would probably have a enchanter who could provide such a service.
Okay.
In terms of money and stuff, I'd need to look into that, because magic items don't have a set price, so I'd need to kind of look into that and figure something out. But it would depend on what you would be looking for. But maybe if you wanted to plan a trip to the city to stock up on supplies or something like that, that could be arranged. But Arabelle is at least a couple of days travel anyway from Eveningstar, so it's something that I think that looking around, you would be able to find in Arabelle or Suzail, the capital of Cormier.
I would also want to sell that wizard's book to pay for the funds
that
for
would
this.
be the
so
same
that would
kind
just
of
be
place.
a trip.
Yeah. There's 2 ways that you can go about that. That is, you could hand it to Dusk and ask Dusk to go and trade it, because he frequently visits Arabelle. Or you could wait until you all go as a team and then do that then, and just keep it in your inventory for now. It's up to you. Yeah. Clive, how does Clive feel? Like, give us a kind of setting up. Clive, I think Baragon and Erez had been given guest rooms in the keep. What's Clive's like routine like? What do we see Clive getting up to in the mornings in this keep and castle?
Well, they're all kind of out of their element here, and they're like specifically on, a mission. So I literally just Googled, when do lions wake up? It says 5:30 a.m.
Okay.
I think
so
since
early
5:30 a.m. they would have like woken up, gone down to whatever common area, sat down, and just like waited.
Okay, so when the rest of you emerge from your private chambers or things like that, you find these 3 Leonins just sat there waiting. I think Aubrey, this kind of elderly gnomish woman, and Nigel Goodfellow, who's this elderly human, who are kind of like the housekeepers of this small part of the keep, have awkwardly tried to provide food. Aubrey, being a kind of sweet, senile old gnomish lady, has probably put out like 3 big sort of like bowls of just milk, thinking that like they are cat
they're
people.
kitties.
and therefore I will serve them maybe like a grilled fish or something like that. Like she's kind of like cooked up some kippers from the river or something like that. And is just like, I don't know what to think. And the doddery old Nigel keeps coming in. Do you require anything, guests?
I believe we're quite content until the nobles awaken.
Oh, very well. Well, if you require anything, please don't hesitate to ask. More milk, sir?
As he like has this, I'm assuming like bowl or saucer, but he's like
it's
holding
like a
it like this.
big bowl.
These like big brutal lion people are like.
I mean, it's delicious. It's creamy.
Lovely.
Yeah, I don't think Clive would have had milk before in the Feywild and in the grasslands, so this would be quite a little treat, I imagine. It's a very unusual but very pleasant flavor.
I love the idea of their like giant tongues, just like lip, lip,
blep, blep, blep. Amazing. Well, yeah. What nobles of Eveningstar? What's the plan? What's shaking down?
I think I'm trying to remember what our paths were before we went and helped Marcel. Like I felt like we had multiple options and we chose to help him hunt down the scions.
There's a couple of things.
We were thinking about doing some mini adventures for some moolah, some cash.
Oh yeah, we were gonna
some
dungeon
cash
dive.
Monet.
Okay. Maybe my brain already felt like we dungeon dive since we were going through Sphinx doors. That's why I feel like
didn't get much loot out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Tarkhal would just come downstairs and see all the lion people.
Okay.
And he would just sit down somewhere like across from Clive, most likely.
Yeah, well, you have like this big banquet table. So the keep has like a kind of common dining area, and it's this big kind of medieval banquet table with a big fireplace. And normally the heads of it are reserved for yourself and Agnes. And yeah, you could just sit across from.
Well, where did Clive sit, Nate?
Nowhere in particular, probably just at whatever like convenient middle seat. Since it's like no one was there, he probably just sat at a random seat at this empty table.
Yeah,
gotcha. I wanted to know if he was the head taker.
No, but like as you're walking down, most likely the second they like see you, before you can even assess what's going on, like as soon as they see who's coming down, he's just like, Tarkhal!
Clive, good morning. You guys are. How long have you been up?
Long enough to learn about the lovely treats that your servants have here.
Is that milk?
I've been told.
Makes sense. Clive, we didn't get to talk much on the way back to Eveningstar. I know you're here for a reason. What is going to fulfill your mission? Is it just you just need to watch until things go north or south? Are you hanging around for a while? Are you looking for a job?
DM, what instructions was I given, like beyond, because I know I'm here to like watch and investigate and help them with unsealing.
It wasn't
stuff.
so much given any direct you weren't given any direct like I want you to do X or I want you to do Y. The idea was with the conflict between between the Fey courts and this kind of indecision about what to do with these attacks and the Unseelie Fey, they've basically sent you here to be a liaison, but also to determine whether these nobles of Eveningstar are worthy of having a meeting, right? Meeting with the Archfey courts or even the high-ranking nobles is kind of a big deal. It'd be like, somebody meeting with the Queen of Cormyr or like the Duchesses of Cormyr and stuff. So they've kind of sent you to appraise them, to assess them, see if they're trustworthy, but also to keep an eye out for any activity of the Unseelie Fey, to see if there's anything more nefarious going on, and to basically judge the situation as best you can. You weren't given any specific, like, do this, do that. It was more like advisory.
We was sent to size you up, lad.
Oh, well, what's your take so far?
Well, you make a good snack.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to do in Eveningstar? You're just going to be prowling and watching us, I guess, and helping us?
Hey, just go about your day. Just pretend I'm not even here. We are the shadows. We are spectators.
Hairy shadows. Right. Okay. I think Tarkhal will just nod, and he's gonna go step outside for a bit.
Okay. Sure. All right. Agnis
Clive will
Azara.
get up and follow him out.
Okay. Yeah.
You like
I
turn
think
around
like
and see him right behind. He's like, not even here.
you see Erez is kind of like sticking close to Clive, but Baragon is just like examining like pretty like the tapestries in the keep. He's just like, oh yeah, it's very good. Just examining them behind you. Agnis and Azara, before we catch on with whatever Tarkhal wants to do, is there anything you guys in particular go about doing?
We have established that Agnis is not a natural early riser, even as a druid. She's more of a late night person, hence like probably fire, you know, like too much light at the nighttime, keeping her up. But so I think she usually takes like an hour to kind of warm up in the morning. So I think that after the boys have left, you might find Agnis just kind of sitting and staring into the middle distance on the table with her cup of tea and just kind of like waking up for an hour.
Sure. Azara?
I think that when Azara's back in Eveningstar, she takes a morning walk to the temple of Airdrie Peña.
Yeah. Cool. We'll come to that. I've got a special
we'll get to that. Well, then yes, that would be
that
would be her thing. And she probably takes the back exit because she hasn't really talked to the crew this much about like her relationship with her new god, so she probably doesn't know about the cats in the kitchen and the
nice. Yeah, you've kind of maybe left a bit early and headed out for a different way. Sure. Cool. Well, Tarkhal, was there anything specific that you were heading out to do, or are you just trying to get some alone time away from others?
No, Tarkhal was just going outside. I think that if Clive is literally following me, Clive, would you care to spar? And I'd just like to not like actually have a combat, but just spar, like to pass the time.
Sure.
Like having a catch. But
yeah,
with
like having a catch, but with violence. If Clive wants
training, it's like exercise. You know, you can pick up some of those training weapons, but you can also just kind of, you know, practice moves and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I mean, Clive. I'm guessing Clive would be up for such an endeavor, but you tell me, Nate.
Oh yeah, Clive just smiles and says, "Aye."
Nice.
I think in this, it's very clearly dominant. Clive is very strong, has very good stamina. Tarkhal, like, even for you, it's kind of a case of like he is just like doesn't stop going, whereas you're like jumping out the way and kind of dodging and keeping distance. How about just have a quick roll, right? Both of you roll a d20 and add your strength, Clive, and add your dex, Tarkhal. Just want to kind of see, like, you know.
That's stage fright. 7
total.
12.
Okay, so I mean, you're just practicing, right? Neither of you are doing anything particularly wrong or anything badly, but I think it would become clear that Clive is very much a seasoned fighter, right, Nate? Like, he is somebody who has trained for battle and knows battle very well. Whereas Tarkhal, you're kind of used to hunting in the woods and ambushing things, and in a straight one-to-one fight, Clive definitely can get the advantage. Like, even against your quick agility and moves, he knows how to like parry you. He knows how to counter your attacks, how to like watch his blind spots, so that when you try and get to him. And after you guys have sparred for a little while, Tarkhal, I don't know if Clive would notice this because it's not somebody he knows, but Tarkhal, you see, just kind of stood out in the field, just holding a wooden practice sword, but just looking at the keep expectantly is Aaron, and he's just looking up at the keep, as if waiting for someone.
Having noticed him, I'd like kind of put my hand up to Clive and be like, "Hold, give me a second, Clive. There's someone I have to talk to." And I'll call Aaron. Aaron, come over.
Oh, yeah. He kind of looks over, and you can see he definitely looks distressed, and he kind of comes over. He's like, "Oh, my lord," and he kind of like bows his head. Have you? Sorry, did you want something? And he's kind of like looking. He gets distracted, looks behind you, but he is listening.
And I can get the sense that he, like you said, he's distressed.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, actually, you're just in time. I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Clive. Clive of the Wildmane.
Oh, he kind of his eyes go wide. He's like, I'd heard. My mum was telling me about. Yes, some lion people came into town. Nice to meet you, sir. And he kind of bows his head. He's this like young, scrawny, ginger teenager, basically.
He like bows his head, and Clive will just like take a huge paw and like just on the back of his head and give him a big scuffle. Like, hey there, lad, you're a scrappy one, ain't ya?
Oh yeah, scrappy, yeah. Ow, claws. Yeah, wow, you're strong and big and tall. That's kind of amazing. Sorry, Mr. Lord Crownsilver. Where's Mr. Marcel? I heard he didn't come back with you.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Marcel is finally where he wants to be. He's alive, he's well, but he had some family affairs he needed to take care of that have been weighing on him for years. But I do know that he doesn't expect you to slack while he's gone. Because Marcel will come back.
Oh, he's coming back.
I believe in my heart that he will be coming back. And if you are in the same state that you were in when he left, well, I don't think he'd be happy with that.
Yeah, no. I was waiting to practice. I didn't know if he was here, but the other nights they don't really practice with me. So he's been teaching me. But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. If he's coming back, I definitely want to be ready for sure. Yeah.
You're an important part of Eveningstar, Aaron. You represent.
Oh, no, I'm just.
No, Aaron, you represent the hope that the youth of this town can bring, and whether Marcel is here or not, you growing is very important. In fact, Clive is here to, as he puts it, size us up. So, I'm kind of short-winded after sparring with Clive. But Clive, would you want to go around with Aaron and maybe he can show you the things that Marcel has taught him?
Well, a lad with a teacher who abandons him. Sounds like not much of a man leading him at all.
So there's this conflicted twist you see on Aaron's face. He and Tarkhal and Clive, this is plain on his face. He's not even trying to hide it. It's clear that he is really mad at what Clive just said, but it's also hit him pretty hard. Like he does feel abandoned a little bit. But he's also mad that he's insulting Marcel, and he's just like, well, come on then. I need to practice, Mr. Clive. So, yeah, let's and he just like doesn't know what else to say, so he just kind of like gets his little sword out. his wooden
all right, lad.
sword.
And he like pounds his chest, like, first hit right there. Let me see what you got then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he's like trying to psych himself up. He's like, yeah. And like he takes into a stance, and it's a stance that Marcel taught him, like that kind of doesn't overbalance him. And then he swings back. I'll make a roll for him. I don't think I need dice today. Oh, okay. So Aaron swings at you, Clive, and it catches you in the chest. It's only a wooden weapon. It's quite blunt, but it's still got a good bit of force. Like for a guy his size, for a guy of his, like, you know, he doesn't have a lot of muscle. He places himself and he twists with his whole body to bring all of his body weight to bear against it. And it's a solid hit. It's like a good oof, right in the chest. Like, you know, yeah, there's some potential here for sure. Like whatever he's picked up already, he's got the basics of how to move with a weapon.
So I'll like take that hit to the chest. Kind of give a...
Oh, how'd you like that? You big Mr. Clive.
You big Mr. Clive. Lad, you fight with the heart of a fighter.
Yeah. I'm Aaron. I'm a wicked fighter. You can see that like all that teenage pomp has like come back in. He's like properly pumped up on adrenaline.
Puts like a huge, like probably puts it into more perspective, a big old paw just on his shoulder.
Yeah. You watch the little, bit of the confidence drains away.
He says, "How would you like to fart?"
Fart?
I had to rewind myself. I combined words.
He's like, fart? What?
Back up, retcon.
Yep, retcon.
Say, how'd you like to fight with the heart of a lion?
Yeah, that sounds wicked. Yeah, heart of a lion. Oh, yeah. Like I
and fart with the strength of a lion as well.
Fart with the height of a lion.
And yeah, you can see him getting pretty pumped up, and like he's totally taken aback. And Tarkhal, all that kind of worry that you did see there does get blown away as like the just the combat adrenaline really gets into him.
Looks to Tarkhal like, I like this one. It's funny. He's got
I'm
Spanish.
funny.
He's got potential. So, well, that was one hit, Aaron.
All right,
continue your
no,
spar.
Yeah. No, okay, hang on. And he like tries to go back into his stance and stuff, and yeah, you can see that he's like trying to get to it. Cool. All right. Well, meanwhile, Azara, it's not too far from Starwatch Keep, a little way just north into the mountains, kind of following along a little mountain trail that goes alongside the river. Looking down, there's almost a drop down into the river that kind of flows up past Eveningstar. And, maybe a short walk away, like 20, 30 minutes. You come to where Dagmar has been excavating this temple that you kind of discovered, really. And you began hearing this kind of whispering voice, and you can see that progress has been made. It's not a full temple. Mm-hmm. They've excavated a large chunk of the mountain, like carved it away to reveal this quite beautiful stonework floor that you can see. And there are a couple of columns that they've managed to excavate and polish off and make sure that, and repair, it seems to be. There's no roof yet. There is just a single archway that kind of like dominates these, connects these four pillars. So it's kind of like a cross arch gazebo kind of esque thing. But there's no actual ceiling. You can look up and see the blue sky all around it. And there is just this very fractured, attempted to be put together statue of a winged elven woman, and the features are worn down by time. You can't really see like eyes or a nose or a mouth, but you can just see the kind of shape of the head, the ears, these wings, and then limbs kind of curled up, almost like a dancer's pose. You can almost see like her hands kind of held very beautifully beside her in this dancer's pose, and it's peaceful. There's nobody here. There's just this faint blowing gentle breeze that just seems to kind of never stop as it blows across, picking up little fragments of dirt and dust and stone and scattering them in these little kind of tempests across this beautiful stone floor. It almost looks like it's carved to be like wind currents stretching around these pillars.
I think that after coming to the temple for so long, Azara would have kind of like a small ritual to herself. Like she'll bring a little thermos of tea, and she'll sit down and kind of like in front of the statue, pour herself tea, maybe leave a few copper pieces as like an offering. Some sort of just something that she does every time she comes to just commune with the space, and kind of give herself over to the breeze while she drinks her tea.
Yeah. You take a sip, and then placing the cup on the ground, you kind of just close your eyes for a moment. And that wind, that gentle breeze that had been blowing around, seems to feel stronger, more fierce, not aggressive, but you can almost feel yourself, you can almost imagine yourself being lifted up away from the mountains, away from Eveningstar, and set adrift. You can see in your mind's eye as you concentrate, as you connect with this temple, this expansive blue world of white clouds and endless blue skies. And it seems to whisper and rush all around you as these winds caress you down your arms, down your legs, flicking out your hair as you kind of soar through the open air. And as you do, a very soft, feminine voice does kind of speak out to you. You've heard the voice before. You know it belongs to Peña, this goddess that you have begun worshipping. Tell me, why have you come once more?
I need to know more about you and about myself. I don't quite understand yet.
Understanding is a thing of books and knowledge. I am the wind. I am freedom. I'm the feeling of summer's breeze. I'm the feel of a rainstorm. There is no knowing, only feeling. But there is much I can tell you, if you wish, of me, of what I expect, of what you can do. Is this what you wish? Again, you feel that kind of
Yes.
caressing wind around you, almost like an embrace.
Azara will kind of, her breathing will pick up a little bit because this is all she's ever wanted to just understand and to know. And she'll say, yes, of course. And you mentioned Typhandrius, you mentioned you chose me, you're here because of him, but he destroyed your temples. I don't understand why you would help a descendant of someone who brought you harm.
You are not Typhandrius. You may carry Typhandrius's blood as your mother did, but you are not that dragon. You are capable of choice. You have the freedom to choose. And I know what you yearn for in your heart. Once, long ago, these mountains, and as she speaks, the clouds and the blue sky seem to part. You can see these gorgeous mountains that seem to stretch out in this long snaking line. Some of them capped by snow, some of them are dull brownish gray, and you can see Cormyr becomes infinitely small, on the side of them, and a great desert expands on their other side. These mountains were once home to my beloved Avariel, the winged elves, of whom so few now remain. They populated these mountains in great spires, and they would worship me in all manners of ways. I long to see the dance of swirling winds once again, the ceremony held to celebrate the changing of the seasons in my honor, with dancing and ribbons blowing in the breeze as they flew through the air. But Typhandrius was jealous and envious and lusted for power, and he saw these mountains as his domain. And so he destroyed, as many of his kind will do. You have the power to destroy, Azara, but you have the capability, the potential, so much more. I will teach you the first of my tenets, and as you learn this and as you master this, I will teach you more, and you will find that your power with me will grow. I ask you to do this. Embrace the freedom of the winds. Do not let yourself be bound by chains, be they of steel, of law, or of heart. Teach others what it is to dance amidst the storm and the wind, and you and I will grow closer.
I think I understand, and I'll do my best.
That is all I can ask of you. You feel the kind of wind, like a delicate hug, kind of just like wrapping around you almost tightly, and you can feel this softness there. And then it kind of reality seems to snap back, and you find yourself the feeling of earth beneath your knees and your hands as you find yourself back in the temple. The cup kind of still ever so slightly quivering as if blown by a strong wind. Yeah, as you look up and see that this temple is as peaceful and as quiet as it once was.
Azara will just kind of smile to herself, now feeling a heightened sense of purpose, kind of getting what Airdrie was saying, but still being such a scholar and a rule follower that it's taking a while to sink in. But not knowing much about this ritual quite yet, but hearing it is about dance, Azara will kind of pick up her cup and give like a ballerina curtsy to the statue before leaving the temple.
There's like a little flick of playful wind that kind of kicks up around you as you do it. Yeah, and yeah, seems to be registered. Cool. Yeah, and you begin making your way back. If you want me to repeat that tenant, let me know.
Yes, if I could have that DM'd to me later today, that would be dope.
I will put that into our chat.
Thank you.
Bam. Cool. So Agnis, whilst people are enjoying conversations with gods and sparrings, is Agnis just kind of still waking up, or because Agnis will have a visitor if you remain in the keep? Dusk will come looking for either you or Tarkhal.
Yeah, I guess I wait there until Dusk shows up.
Yeah, like you're still looking into that morning tea or coffee when Dusk, the purple-skinned seneschal is one horn, always annoyingly chipper in the mornings, to Agnes's dismay. Oh, my lady, so wonderful to see you up and about and joining us in the morning. I do have some news. I hope to discuss it. Perhaps I can pass it on to you, and then you may discuss it with the others when they are here. Excellent. Just to check, my lady, are you awake enough for a lengthy discussion?
She gives this like very cranky look, and then kind of takes a deep breath, and then is like, "Yes, thank you."
Of course, my lady. It is only my pleasure to serve. And you can see he's kind of smirking, like he's grinning because he knows that Agnis hates the morning thing. I do bring some news. Some of it not very good, unfortunately. I've been speaking to people on Arabelle. I've been getting news of what's been happening around Cormyr. It seems that these attacks by Fey beings are happening across Cormyr. They seem to be concentrated in and around the Kingswood. The Purple Dragon Knights are increasing their patrols, but there's all sorts of strange events occurring and rumors of foreign powers building in strength. They're not able to fully address the matter, and lots of villages are being attacked, people on the roads, all sorts of these Fey creatures and warriors. Something perhaps to discuss with our new guests. The other thing I thought of particular note, especially for yourself and Lord Tarkhal, was Davian Cormoril from Arabelle, the man who was, seemed to be responsible for my attempted framing. He's been summoned by Queen Raedra to face the accusations laid against him in Suzail. However, he has not attended. He has sent couriers instead that claim to deny the charges and say that his lands are currently being pressed on all fronts by these Feywild soldiers. In the courts themselves, the noble houses are split. Many people seem to be allied with Davian and claim that it's impossible that he would stoop to such means. Others believe that he should be brought in for blood. Others think that we should be attacking the Feywild back. Others think that we should be sowing for peace. It is, unfortunately, quite chaotic.
And what do you think, Dusk?
Oh, I think that this is far beyond even my interests to really comprehend. This type of level of court politics is dangerous.
Well, surely you, as the accused, do have some part in this story.
I do, but I've lived long enough and I have worked with enough interesting individuals, shall we say, to never take anything for face value. I must admit, Lady Crownsilver, the fact that you found such damning evidence in Cormoril's townhouse, which had already been searched, I do find it a little bit convenient. Davian Cormoril, by reputation, is not a particularly well-liked noble. If I were perhaps to set somebody up as a villain in this piece, well, Davian would exactly fit the bill, shall we say. That said, perhaps it is just blind ambition. The man has long hated the Oberskier line and Queen Raedra for what his family has been through. It may very well be that he could still be a villain, even if perhaps he is embroiled in some sort of machination. It's difficult to say.
Astute observations.
Well, merely ones of a tired old tiefling, one who's seen too much. But I do have one piece of good news, and he pulls out a letter addressed for you from a lady Vanifer Braywinter of Arabel. I believe it contains to potentially some employment of earning some gold. I heard on the grapevine she was looking to hire some adventurers, but perhaps a certain individual provided some information to her inner circle that of your antics and bravery in the Scepter and elsewhere, and that you were accomplished adventurers yourselves. And he kind of just gives that look of like, yes, I am very good. Thank you, my lady. You don't need to say anything. I approve. I am very grateful for your
If you
approval.
would pass on our deepest thanks to that individual.
Of course, my lady, of course. Such gossiping, though, not to be condoned too much, I think. Still, I am happy to read the letter for you, or you may peruse it in your own time if you wish.
Let's have it.
Very well. Let me read it. And he, in a very stately kind of servant manner, he opens it in a flourish. My lord and lady Crownsilver, it has come to my attention via my weekly Three Dragon Anti-Club that you have displayed some remarkable adventurous spirit during your recent visit to Arabel and saved the Duchess from a force of fey-blooded assassins and saved the lives of many prominent guild members and persons. I also believe your mother was known for being quite the daring dungeon-delving sort, and such wild passions must surely run in her blood. I had intended to hire a group of adventurers to reclaim a lost family heirloom from a ruin that I believe lays in your lands. However, given your acclaim, perhaps you would consider reclaiming it yourselves. I would be willing to donate a considerable sum of gold to Eveningstar's coffers in exchange for my heirloom's return. If interested, I can send my wizard to discuss the matter with you at your convenience. Kindest regards, Lady Vanifer Braywinter.
Thank you very much, Dusk. And Agnes will take the letter and kind of fold it up. She says, this seems like a very good use of our time. However, you said that our people are being attacked. Surely we must deal with that first. This seems like an urgent
The people of
need.
Cormyr are being attacked, which obviously the people of Eveningstar are, but so far in Eveningstar, we have not had any attacks ourselves. I think that our distance from the Kingswood, the location of the keep, and our armed forces have perhaps done something to it, but so far we've not been attacked. These attacks are happening all across Cormyr, some of the smaller villages on the outskirts of the Kingswood and such.
The Tressum Force surely is donating their watchful eye to our cause as well.
Almost certainly, my lady. Eyes from above are always very welcome.
Well, I will speak to my brother and our colleagues and see about this heirloom retrieval. I think it should be a good way to provide material wealth for our town.
With regards to material wealth, I do believe Miss Iron Eyes, Miss Dagmar the dwarf, also had something that she had discovered. And you may wish to check in with Knight Elissa to see if any of her units have uncovered any information on her reports and scouting. Unfortunately, I have not had the time to check in with them since I've only just returned from Arabel. But if you wish to investigate other opportunities, they may have some as well.
All right.
Good.
Agnes will kind of like stretch and like drag herself out of her chair. And, all right, better get to my day.
It is wonderful to have you back in Eveningstar, my lady. And he just nods his head.
It's wonderful to be back.
And with that, Dusk makes his way out, his little tail flicking as he heads out to Dusk business.
Agnes will just kind of take the letter and wander out to see if she can find Tarkhal.
Sure. Cool. I think like probably you would by the time Agnes has done all of this and is heading out, it might be where Azara, if you're heading back to the keep, this is probably where you're kind of coming back in, and then we see kind of like Aaron and Clive and Tarkhal out in the courtyard. Unless Tarkhal is doing something that different.
No, Just I like the idea of the continued sparring if Clive does.
So I think Clive, Tarkhal, and Aaron are sparring. We see Azara come back in as Agnis is coming out to basically meet everyone.
I'll show them the letter, explain what it is, kind of give the rundown of everything Dusk said, and then also say, it seems Dusk thinks that Alyssa may also have some interesting information of note for us. If Azara, you might want to go check with her.
Azara kind of like sputters and she's like, it's you. Why specifically me? If Dusk spoke to you, shouldn't you speak with Alyssa, Blade Captain Alyssa?
Would you have me, your lady, do this errand for you?
No, my lady. I suppose you're right. And Azara will kind of like hang her head, knowing that Agnis is definitely just doing this to get her in the same room as Alyssa, not for any actual other reason.
There's definitely a twinkle in the eye.
Yeah.
Little Agnis playing matchmaker of like,
don't you wanna go dog? But before I take care of that, shall we discuss our possible excursion to find this relic?
It does seem as though we should help the cause of all the people of Cormyr by defending against these attacks from the Feywild. However, there is an immediate need for resources here in Eveningstar that I believe we should prioritize.
I happen to agree. And on a more personal note, I did inquire with Dusk and will be following up on if there is a possibility. I've heard whispers of an artist, a wizard, that can imbue magical powers in us if we get markings on our skin, simple magical tattoos. And I think that those, I've heard, can be quite expensive, but if we are planning on fighting the Summer Court, the Unseelie Court, or any other Fey court, it might be to our advantage to look into something like that. And money will help.
Agreed. Clive, is that not part of why you're here, to help us determine which of the Fey courts are involved in these attacks and perhaps repel them?
Perhaps it is.
Perhaps.
Very vague. I shall see to Blade Captain Alyssa, and I'll return with word of what she has. And Azara will just kind of like shuffle off, really mad that she got tricked into this.
Yeah, sure. While Azara goes off to do that, you see a kind of out of breath dwarven woman makes her way into the keep, kind of being guards kind of like, oh, you're not supposed to go until we tell you. And she's just like, hey, come on, leave. You know who I am. I'm just, she kind of like brushes them off. You can see she's like covered in sort of like mining dust, and it's like smears of like coal and charcoal over her face. She kind of gets up. It's just like, oh, and she kind of waves, my lord and lady, and she's waving over. And this is Dagmar, the quarry master.
Dagmar, well met.
Well met indeed, lady. Thank you. And this must be the handsome lion man that I keep hearing everybody talk about. And they point in Clive's direction. And I think Baragon somewhere is just like, no, that is me.
You hear that, Baragon? They're calling me the handsome one.
Well, I suppose that's good, sir, but point some my way. As he kind of calls out. And you see Erez just rolls her eyes from behind. And she does look over and she's just like, honestly, either of you look great to me. I'll happily, if you're cold at night, dwarf to snuggle, very warm.
Dagmar, excuse me.
Sorry, my lord and lady. I actually came with business. I wanted to inform you, we've had a little bit of good fortune, hopefully. Whilst you've been away, I tasked a few prospectors with traveling up into the Tempest Valley. The hills, they're going to be full of ore or resources and things like that. And we've struck a bit of luck. Up the river in the Tempest Valley, we found what looks to be an old abandoned silver mine. Now, it had been collapsed in. We've managed to repair the entrance. I think it's quite old, pre-spell plague. So all of the a lot of the shafts have been dug. There's a section of rails stuck in there. But I don't want to commit any more of my people to mining until we can confirm it's clear. I mean, I'm a dwarf. I know how things go. That thing's been sealed up for a long time. Who knows what's still living in there? And I don't want to commit any of our miners to going down there. But a silver mine, well, that'll be very profitable for the township if we can get that going. We'd actually have enough money to start buying resources rather than just supplying our own. Things like if we want to get walls for the town and things like that. I mean, the quarry's good. We can provide a lot of stone, but we don't have the wood and the iron and the labor to build something like that. But a silver mine, that would give us a lot of gold to be thrown around.
I hear the silver value is only going to be going up.
I'm so
silver.
tilted.
I mean, people always wanting silver. Not everybody can afford gold, you know.
Right.
They say it'll go to the moon soon enough.
Hey.
Is that who are you being? Have you been hearing that from old McStonks? That dwarf doesn't know what he's talking about. McStonks doesn't know a damn thing about economy.
I've never seen Stonks be right once. Never once.
No, never. See, Tarkhal knows.
But he might be this time.
He may be,
you know?
maybe. But still, a silver mine's nothing to sniff our nose at, for sure. I just thought I'd let you know about it. Like I said, I can't commit any of my miners. I don't want to commit them to checking out some old forgotten mine.
Well, they are just children after all.
No, sorry, Mr. Lineman. Miners as in people who mine, not children.
Oh, right. Of course.
Mine, like digging.
Right.
I'll leave him to it anyway. Just thought I'd let you know. But
if I understand correctly, you would request that we clear the mine and make sure that it's safe?
Clearing out some old forgotten mine, I'm sure, is far beneath your noble souls and your prowess as adventurers. But perhaps a small team could be sent there, and that could be enough. Or you could, if you feel like you want a little bit of a little bit of a trek down some old dusty mine, well, I wouldn't say no. It's really up to you. We don't know what's down there. Maybe we send a team, they get eaten by, I don't know, a purple worm. Maybe it's just a bunch of goblins. Maybe it's spiders. I don't know.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to put anyone else in danger. So I'll discuss this. Thank you, Dagmar.
Of course, yes. Well, I mean, don't forget, they are your troops. That's what they're there for. You know, they've signed on to go on dangerous missions, and hey, maybe a promotion in it for them. So anyway, that's my business. I just thought I'd let you know. Bye-bye. And then heads off.
With a wink at the lions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All three of them. Like, she's just, and it's like a big sort of like, hey. Baragon is just like, maybe. It's like, not usually, but yes, well, I suppose she's got a good physique, perhaps. But yeah.
So did Azara go to see Alyssa now already?
Yeah, do you want to do that? And then you guys can have all of your options. Did you just go to the barracks? Did you just go and try and find her in the officers' quarters of her of the barracks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of knock and you hear her kind of like, yes, hang on just a second. And when she comes to, she's kind of got like a kind of robe on, like looks like that she was maybe on like night shift and she's just woken up, like her hair's kind of all over the place. One of her tusks is still just kind of sticking out where she's not kind of like adjusted it a little bit. And she kind of like blinks and she's like, oh, for goodness. And then she kind of shuts the door again. And then there's like a rumbling of like sorting things out. And then she opens it again with slightly smoothed down hair. And her face is, you know, she's kind of like put her lip down and she's just like, Mr. Azara, good to see you.
I can come back if this is a bad time or.
No, it's not a bad time. I was working. I was on a late shift, so I've only really just woken up. Unfortunately, I was on the night shift last night. No, it's good you came by. Actually, something came up. One of our scouts came back last night, early this morning. I was going to come and tell the Baroness about it, but I suppose I can just tell you now that you're here.
Yes, I was sent by the Baroness to find out exactly what you found out.
You were sent here. Oh,
yes.
Well, would you like to come in for a drink or something? Or
if it's not imposing or
no,
anything,
I've got the tea. Is the one that we had last time okay?
That would be wonderful.
She kind of goes in. You can see her like awkwardly kind of shuffling around. Her room is pretty messy. Unlike her soldiers or what you might expect, you can see that she's not had time to like properly clean it and orderly it. So like the bed sheets are kind of just like tossed wherever. Like there's a sword and armor is just laying on the floor. But she eventually kind of pulls to you. It's just like, well, so it's kind of, it is something of a concern, although perhaps not immediate. Last night, a small group of scouts, they were patrolling the mountains to the north, just beyond that temple I think you've mentioned in the past, quite a ways away, perhaps a couple of days out, 3 days, perhaps. They found a floating tower. It seems to just be floating on a chunk of rock. It's nestled into one of the valleys there. That on its own is mysterious. What's more concerning for me, from a military perspective, is it seems that a rather sizable orc tribe have set up camp near the floating island, this floating tower, sorry, and they appear to be building something. The scouts couldn't get a close enough look at what they were building, but a large number of orcs from the mountains, it's a risk. There's always attacks and raids coming, but whatever they're up to, I'd feel better knowing what exactly was going on.
And a floating tower sounds magical, to say the least.
Yes, it's apparently quite old. They said that the tower looked, pre-spell plague, 100 centuries old. They felt that there was they said that the wind seemed to be very strong around this tower.
Does this happen to be northeast of Cormier? Does this happen to be...
It's like northeast-ish.
Does this happen to ring a bell in Azara's mind of a floating city? Are we finally going to get to that? Is this not the floating city?
Oh, you might be thinking of... No, you might be thinking of there is the crashed city.
Okay, so this isn't the remnants of the crashed city.
No, well, okay. Maybe. It could be. It could be a piece of it. But it's not that. That city is in another country called Mithranor. That's in like a whole other thing.
A whole other place.
But maybe this could be Azara might think this could be a chunk of it.
A chunk of it could have just floated away.
Broken off and floated away. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Well, me thinking that and Azara thinking that, if the orcs are building something, they could know what's in the tower. They could be building up to the tower. This seems...
That's my worry. My worry is that they're either trying to get something in there and... Perhaps there are so many tribes that live amongst the mountains. There are many orcs out there who are good natured. They come for trade.
Of course.
They may simply be trying to explore it and gain treasures. There are also, and I've encountered them on my drills in my youth, and my mother has told me about them. Because Alyssa is a half orc. She says, my mother has told them that there are some orcs up there who still worship Grumush and the old gods. They still worship people like Bane and Cyric, and they can be if they can get groups behind them, they can become a problem. They often lead attacks. They are often more harmful to other orcs than they are to Cormier, but I still don't like the idea of them gaining any power from whatever this tower could be.
And my concern, race or not, is anyone non-magical holding a magical power that they don't know what it can do.
Exactly. Or worse, if these shamans of Cyric and Bane get hold of it, they'll know what to do with it, and that could be just as bad.
That can be catastrophic.
Indeed.
Well,
like I said, it's still a few days away, but it's something that I would like to get more information on, at least. Unfortunately, I don't think our scouts are going to be able to get any closer. There was a sizable amount of them, and I think that they might be a little bit outmatched.
Well, I know that we do have Tressum under our command. I can ask Lady Crownsilver if we can lend out that army.
I do keep forgetting that she can speak to the flying cats. I did think that they wouldn't be very useful, but I suppose if Lady Crownsilver can speak with them, it could be useful.
It could be useful, and if it's not an immediate threat, I know that right now we do have a possible job lined up that can line our pockets with a little bit more gold for the city. And if this can wait a few days, possibly we can pull the second. But if the Tressum come back and say they're encroaching on the tower, then I will put my foot down and insist that we
If you can ask
investigate.
Lady Crownsilver to send the Tressim, I'll also dispatch a few scouts to keep an eye on it from afar. They can at least watch through spyglasses and keep an eye on it and report back to me if there's any movement. But something that we might want to keep an eye on for sure.
Well, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention.
Of course.
As always, good work, Blade Captain.
Thank you, Magister. Azara, if I may, can I speak? Can I call you Azara?
Of course.
About what you said on the trip back, would you the next time we go to Arabelle, would you like to have dinner maybe? And you can see she's like awkwardly like looking away, like trying not to meet your eyes when she says it.
Azara will just like light up like a bright red because she's been trying so hard to be professional during this conversation. And she'll kind of resort to that fidgety, nervous self, and she'll go, I'd be honored.
No, it'd be a nice. I know the city well, and there's a few spots I could show you around. And yes, no, that sounds marvelous. The next time we're there, and there's just like great. A kind of yes, great. She opens the door.
Azara will kind of like shuffle out, but before she leaves, she'll say, it's been a really long time since I've had a good roast. So if you know of any places, and she'll just kind of stutter and blush.
Right, there's this. Like, hang on, I'm gonna make an insight check. How obvious is Azara trying to be?
No. She literally means like a pot roast.
Right,
like
okay.
A pot
In that
roast.
case, all right. I wasn't sure because you always described Azara as being quite a flirty character. I didn't know if like that was an innuendo.
No. With people that she really likes, she doesn't know how to flirt.
Gotcha. It's just like she's just like, oh yes, there's a number of great places in the city. I'll show you. Yes, no, that sounds. It's a dinner then.
It's a date.
It's a date, and she just nods, and turns back, and then you guys head out.
Azara will head off, and immediately she wants to find Agnis and tell her.
Sure. Well, yeah, I hand it back over to you guys. You guys have now I've provided you my many adventure plots, and I hand it over to you to discuss which one you would like to do.
So, what do you explain to us about what Alyssa wanted?
Essentially Azara would just kind of recount everything and say that there's this magical tower, some orcs are climbing up to it, it's floating, could be bad, dunno, and ask for Tressim help.
The Tressim are helping like guard the perimeter, but there's probably enough of them that I could send a few scouts over to check out the tower, right?
Yeah, they won't be able to accomplish anything, but if you just want to basically be like, go and have a look at this tower, you can send the Tressim. Yeah. You can send like a couple of Tressim.
I'll agree to do that and let the Tressim know. To the party, and including Clive, I'll be like, it seems as though the Unseelie court threat is at bay at the moment. And as such, I think we should do something to increase the resources of our town. So it seems as though perhaps we should either clear the silver mine to allow our town to make good of those resources, or collect the bounty by retrieving this heirloom. What do you guys think?
Lady Crownsilver, if I may, we do have ample forces to be able to clear this mine. And seeing as we were asked for specifically by a noble, was it a noble, DM?
Mm-hmm.
By a fellow noble, I think that delaying any further could be seen as rude, especially since they went out of the way to hire us and not adventurers.
It could be a good way to build relationship with neighboring areas as well.
Indeed.
Maybe you could ask Alyssa to send a contingent to the mines.
I would be happy to. And she kind of like blushes and smiles a little bit.
So I have something for you guys as players, if you would like to do that. So I'm going to give you guys a choice because I had an idea with this. We can either basically handle the troops going to the silver mine with some rolls or whatever, or and tell me what you think about this idea, because it's okay if you don't like it. What if we did like a session where you guys played as the unit going into the mines as like little babby units,
God.
not like level 1 characters, like NPC stat blocks, and you have to go into these mines and clear them out yourselves. Or we can do it just as roles if you guys don't want to take time away from these characters, which is totally fine. But if you wanted like a little like play a different character for a little bit, or like play something a bit different, we could do it as level 1 characters if you wanted to. I leave that choice to you guys. You don't have to decide now. You can let me know, but I'm going to throw that idea as an idea out there.
I'm curious what the audience thinks.
Sure.
Would you guys like to watch a
us
session
know.
without our characters?
Yeah.
Or do you want them
Like a
always
little
by your side?
Starship Troopers, Star Trek away mission. Oh no, they're probably all going to die.
I might be a little biased because I literally just started a new character.
Got a shiny new character to play with.
What if Clive leads like the
Sure.
people?
You can go do whatever you want. Like, it's up to you guys. Or like, you could send Aaron to lead this group if you
Oh
really
my
want as well.
god.
What if Clive comes and then 2 of us play the 2 lions and Aaron comes as well and one of us plays Aaron?
Like I
Oh my
said,
god.
you guys don't have to decide now. You guys can decide later on if you like. But that is just something I'm going to throw out there as a potential thing. Or we can just handle it with some fun, cool dice rolls to see how well the team see how well the team does clearing it out.
The min-maxer in me just wants to do the rolls because it's like, yeah, we'll know if we have silver or not. But
Yeah.
I do like that idea, so I don't know.
Yeah, have a think.
Having a
but yeah,
think.
you can arrange that easily enough. You have enough forces to spare a small team to go and head into these mines and try and clear them out. Or the other one is you guys could just go as yourselves. But if you want to send a unit, that's how I would either do it as roles, or you guys can play a special little silly one-off. Up to you. Bravo
Well,
team.
we know for sure that right now we're going to go try to retrieve the heirloom. So we should roleplay that with
That's
these
the
characters,
focus.
and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out what next.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about we do that then? Like, you guys focus on that, and then we can always do a cutaway to, like, if you guys are like, you know what, actually playing some level 1 like stereotypical adventurers in a dungeon crawl, that actually sounds kind of fun. You could like cut away to that after we do this other thing with the heirloom. Yeah, we could do that totally.
And we're sure we should make the heirloom the highest priority.
Well, the heirloom equals money, which equals security for our people.
And it's not too far if we get word that this tower is of dire importance and need to rush back.
All right, I feel like I pushed pretty hard with the scions, so I will follow your lead on this for sure, sister and magister.
And Clive.
And Clive, of course.
Clive, are
What
you
does Clive
accompanying
think of all
us?
this? Yeah.
Well, I've not much better to do in this realm.
My pride leader, Clive, if you are to accompany
Paragon!
these, indeed,
Continue.
if you are to accompany these fine fellows
Aye.
and ladies,
Aye.
should Errors and myself, we must inspect the troops here, and we want to keep an eye on the borders in case of any unsilly fay. Should we remain here and leave you to your adventuring, hunting?
Right. That sounds like a fine idea to me. Think the soldiers here could use a little whipping up.
Yes, some of them, there's definitely a bit cowed. When we roar, they're a bit sort of. So I think we can work on that a little bit.
Yeah,
yes.
whoever it was in charge of them previously didn't do much of a job then.
No, it really didn't. No training or anything whatsoever. Very strange. The blade captain's a good woman. She seems a good but she's sort of a sergeant, isn't she? Really, just sort of giving orders in the moment. No training, no organization.
Aye.
Not like the Pride. The Pride knows how to fight. Some call
Aye.
him the what? Yes. Very good.
All of this is said in front of us.
I think so.
I guess like Agnes is just sitting there blinking at them. But she's not
Anyway.
one to say that she's taken offense.
Well, Pride mate, Pride leader, I will leave you here. I'll go and have a chat with the troops. Errors, let's go. And then they kind of head off.
Sir DM,
Yes.
I
Hello.
have been perusing through my notes, and I did mark down that we get 2 healing potions per month.
You do.
We should collect on those, pretty please.
Yeah, you can.
How many have we acquired?
Or do you want to go see Holder?
Yes, please.
Sure. I'm assuming, Clive, do you just follow these guys when they're just like, let's go?
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, quick question. Has Ares actually like said anything, or has she just been like, oh, okay.
She is like a really quiet lioness. Like, she's the serious bodyguard. Like, Baragon's out flirting with everybody and being loud. She's like said a couple of words, but that's pretty much all she ever says.
I just like the image of like there's never really words. There's just like
it's just
caveman.
And she's like,
SpongeBob.
yeah, she's a badass. Like, she's got a scar, and she's definitely the kind of serious bodyguard and like taking things seriously. You know, obviously Clive's does as well, but yeah, Baragon's definitely the kind of pompous fart of the pride.
Cool.
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but he's definitely got his flaws.
Great.
Yeah, you guys make your way down into the town and go to the outskirts of the wood, the Kingswood, where there is this moss-covered cottage house that has been developed. You can see a farm of strange, brightly colored mushrooms and weird flowers is been growing in amongst this kind of trellis fence. And sat outside in a little bit of shade under like kind of like ape of the house is a furbolg, just with a big straw hat, just kind of like chewing on a piece of grass, just sitting there, laying about. Pretty much every time you've come to see Hulda, this is how you find them. They're just sitting around, don't ever seem to do anything. But yeah, and yeah, for Clive, this would be the first time seeing this this dopey looking cow-like figure who's just sort of like chilling with these big long dreads. Yeah.
How many months has that deal been in place? Like how many?
Since it was finished, since the herbalist shop was finished.
So how many months have passed?
3 months.
3 months? Dope.
Yeah. Hopefully that means 6 healing potions.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. What's the plan? Do you guys want to walk up and chat to Hulda, or are you just like, Hulda, potions, give, bye?
We are in something of a hurry.
Sure. You kind of make your way up, and you see this kind of slow blinking eye. Like Hulda's like, oh, hello. If it isn't the Lord and Lady, and a couple of extra folks as well today. The pretty dragon woman, and who's this? Look at this big fella. Hello.
Greetings, Clive of the Wild Mane.
Oh, Clive of the Wild Mane. What a lovely name. I'm Hulda. I'm a brewer. An alchemist, I suppose.
Greetings.
Can I help you with anything, my lord and lady? Is there anything going on?
Yes, Hulda. We're here to pick up some potions that.
Oh, potions. Yes, I make quite a few of those. Let me have a look. And they kind of like, they pull themselves up, and you can see that they have like this, it's almost like not a shell, but they've kind of built this like backpack, and it's just littered with like plants, like ferns, but he's been laying on it, or they've been laying on it, and it's just kind of draped all over the place. And as he kind of pulls himself up, some of it detaches from the wall where it's been stuck. He's just like, all right, just come inside, don't be shy. And they duck their heads and kind of step into their little alchemy shop, and it smells of all these like pungent floral aromas and mushrooms and all these weird mixtures. There's also a heavy smell of booze as well that kind of emanates through it. Oh, now if you like, I've got a lovely bit of mushroom ale going on in this cauldron over here. And oh yes, potions. That's what I came in for. Let me have a look here. Let me see. Now, I must admit, ingredients wise, I have had a bit of an experiment. So what I've got here, let me have a look here. And he pulls out a kind of leather satchel with engraved with a big green kind of elven leaf, all marked over, and he flips it open, and inside it's segmented, and there are 6 slots, but only 4 of them are full. He says, now, I've got 2 regular healing potions right here. And that's these 2 little fellas right down there. And he points to 2 smaller little vial potions. Now, this one, I had a bit of a look. I had to use some extra ingredients, but I made what's called a greater healing potion. And that's this big fella here. And he points to the bigger one. Now, the rest of the ingredients that I was going to use to make your healing potions, I might have got a bit experimental with them. But I do have some good results. And what you've got here, and he points at the last potion, is a potion of stone giant strength. Now, you drink that, you'll get phenomenally strong.
Wonderful.
Well worth it. I know that's not what I promised, but I did forget what I promised whilst I was making it.
Was what you promised my fire extinguishing
now that
magic?
I've made some progress on, but I am having one problem in that when I expose it to air, it does consume fire, but then it does spread frost in approximately a half-mile radius, I think, and it kills off any crops. So I think it's not ready yet. I think I still need to keep working on it.
Could be better.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there, my lady. Yeah, not too bad.
So we have 2 potions of healing and 2 of giant strength.
So 2 potions of healing, 1 greater potion of healing, and then 1 potion of stone giant strength.
So we only got 4 of the 6 we were supposed to get.
Yeah, but some of them are better than just regular healing potions.
Okay.
Regular healing potions, Mica, are worth 50 gold. And what I've given you is way more than that.
True, correct.
Gold value.
I'm just doing math.
It's fine. You've got cleric levels now. You can heal.
I have 1 cleric level.
I will hand all the potions to Azara and be like, I probably shouldn't hold these. You can hold them.
I will take great care of them.
I think Tarkhal could use that potion of strength there. Isn't that right, lad? Give him a big slap on the back.
Tarkhal, just nothing. It's just like, bang.
I thought he smacked Hulda. Never mind.
No,
yeah, that would maybe we can actually let Aaron have that one during your next sparring session. That would be interesting. Hulda, you should give your brain a break once in a while. Why don't you seem foggy every time we're here, and there's no foggy wood out.
That's my perpetual life motto there, Tarkhal. I'm just always foggy, eh? That's why, it's getting down in reality. It's a bit boring, Sometimes you just gotta relax.
Sometimes you just gotta relax, and if you have some times where you're not relaxing, when you relax, it will feel even more relaxing.
Not sure about that, boy. Or
peaks
maybe
and valleys.
Try.
Hulda,
peaks and valleys. I do like peaks and valleys. Lovely to walk around at a good valley. Get the ups and the downs, and you see it from on high, and you see it from down low. It's very lovely. Very lovely, eh?
We should probably get going and let you get back to working on that extinguishing magic potion.
Yes, I'll get working on that, and I'll make some more potions as well. But do you want more of the little ones?
Tarkhal will look at Azara and just be like, "What do you think?"
More of the greater healings or anything that you can come up with.
Another great. I won't be able to make as many of the greater ones, but I can definitely focus on making those if you want.
I think that we can leave it up to you, Hulda. Whatever you.
Oh, even better.
You can come up with, especially
I can come up with a lot.
Yes. I believe in you, but like Tarkhal said, maybe just give your brain a break.
I always do.
I'll take you up on that ale.
Oh yes, my mushroom ale. Come and have a go. And he pulls out, and you can see that behind this cauldron, there's shelves of all these different shaped sized tankards. Some of them have carved out of wood. One looks like it's made of stone. One looks like it's like a metal tankard, like all dented from an inn. There's even one which is tiny. It's like a little tiny tankard, like the size like a pixie might use.
Whatever the biggest, like most size appropriate one is.
So that's this huge, like, it almost looks like a little mini barrel, but a handle has been nailed onto it. And he's like, "Oh, I get you the big one, eh?" And then he scoops like this big kind of pint of this kind of frothy, pale cream ale, and he's like, "Here you go.
Ah,
I'll go with that.
a gratitude.
You're welcome. What do you think?" He's just
What do I
watching
think?
you. Yeah, he's like waiting for you to drink it. So as Clive downs it, it's an unusual taste. It tastes quite yeasty, and a little bit, yeah, like mushrooms, like very strong mushroom flavor beer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's beer, and it's
Mm-hmm.
you can roll, sure.
I was
Just roll.
waiting to see if I would have to.
I don't think you have to, but let's just roll and see what happens.
Okay. Would you believe me if I said I got a nat 1?
I don't care whether I believe you or not. It's a great result. It is so overpowering. I don't think Clive would have ever have experienced anything like this before. And it's just this thick kind of, it's not even the alcohol in it, it's the flavor. It just tastes awful. It's just this reviled taste. Probably can't help but just be like, and like this just liquid comes out of your mouth.
Literally just throw it back up.
Yeah,
into the barrel and hold it back. Just no, thank you.
Oh, lion vomit though, eh? Might see if I can put that one to use. And he takes the tankard and he puts it on another shelf. Like, that might be useful. Anyway, well, if you don't like the mushroom ale, I'm afraid I haven't got anything else for you. But thank you very much for coming by. It's always lovely bit of company, eh?
Yes, take care of yourself, Hulda. And Tarkhal will
I will, Tarkhal, my boy. Oh,
between the smell of mushrooms and vomit now, he's pretty much had it with this place.
Yeah, it's the stench is quite disgusting. You guys make it outside, and what's the plan? Do you guys want to just head off immediately? Is it like wait a day? Do you want to send word for this to get this heirloom? It did say in the letter that if you were interested to basically that she can send a wizard to discuss the details.
Yeah, we should wait for the details for sure.
Sure, like Dusk can basically send a letter back. It would probably be the next day. So there would be like you guys have an evening to rest and recuperate. Another meal, perhaps with the Leonins, enjoying a food feast. If there's anything else you guys wanted to do.
Just the Tressum, did they go check it out?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, the Tressum. So let me make a couple of checks here for the Tressum. Ooh, that's not good.
Oh.
Okay. So when the Tressum return, you probably sent a couple of them out, Agnis, but only one of them comes back.
No.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you can't speak with animals, so you can converse with them. It's this kind of gingery, tabby Tressum with these long whiskers that come out. When you speak, it's just like lady of the village, it is dangerous. The place that you sent us to, we flew there on the winds. We arrived quickly over the mountains, but it is dangerous. We could not approach the giant tower in the sky. The winds were too strong, even though they were not strong elsewhere. The winds were too strong to fly against. But as we were circling, one of the builders down below, the soldiers in the camp, they shot my friend with a bow, and he fell.
He will be honored and remembered. Brave soldier.
Yes, you must take revenge against these gray-skinned folks, these soldiers at the camp. They are building something.
Do you know what they were building? What did it look like?
I'm a Tressum. I do not understand your machines and things. It looked it was large and made of wood with hide, I think. But I do not know what it is.
And these soldiers that shot at you, did they look like me?
No. They looked most like that one, and he points with his little paw. He points at Alyssa, but they were different. They were more green and gray.
I see. Thank you, brave soldier.
You are welcome. I will report this to the One-Eyed King, and he will help us mourn our fallen comrade.
I will send 5 pitchers of milk for your wake.
Ah, yes. This is acceptable. And then he just.
I ask our staff to send them
yeah.
5 pitchers of milk.
I mean, Audrey's been stockpiling the milk for the Leonins anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not hard for her to send over a couple. They put that up in the tower, the northeast tower where King One Eye is.
I'll also pass that information on to our group and say it sounds as though an enemy force is building something that they do not wish us to know about at this tower. It may be something that needs to be dealt with.
Depending on what word we hear from this wizard, we can determine which task must come first. Let's say this journey will only take us a few days. I'm sure this contraption won't be built by then. And if so, Blade Captain Alyssa does have scouts watching this construction. If it seems dire, we can rush back.
How close is this tower to Eveningstar?
By foot, it would take maybe sort of 3-4 days. The Tressim can get there faster because they can just straight
Gotcha.
over the mountains. Okay. But yeah, it's about 3-4 days, probably closer to 4 than 3.
Gotcha. Okay, I agree.
Yeah, because you have to wind your way through the mountains. Like this is it deep in the mountains in the north. So Eveningstar is like kind of like here. Then just above an Eveningstar, you have the Tempest Valley, which is this where the river comes from, and then actually more to the northeast is this thick line of mountains, the Stormhorns, and it stretches the whole north of Cormyr, and it's in there basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a few days travel for sure. The next day, you are visited, quite a shock, a bit of a kind of surprise, as appearing in a flash outside the keep, which causes your guards to immediately go running and calling for guard captains. A robed figure appears. They are not human or elf. They appear to be scaled with a kind of short, stubby tail, and a face like a dragon's. They are a dragonborn, a black dragonborn, and they have a crested, finned kind of crest that goes down their head and partway down their spine. And they're wearing these big robes. They have a little tail that sticks out from underneath them, big claws, and you can see him kind of looking around and seeing all these guards kind of becoming readily aware of him just appearing. He just holds his big scaled hands up.
I have been invited by your lord and lady.
Yeah, the guards come and fetch you and are like, my lady, lord, there is a dragon man who claims that he's been invited here.
Welcome, wizard.
You may address me as Melodonus, Lady Crownsilver.
Melodonus, we are honored to welcome you to our keep. Please come in.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Will you have some refreshment?
No, please. I will not trouble you for the hospitality. Besides, my palate is perhaps a little unconventional. Some water, perhaps, would be most kind.
We give him water and everything.
Yes. And please, introductions. As I said, I'm Melodonus, and you must be Lord Crownsilver.
Yes, Tarkhal. You can call me Tarkhal. Welcome to
Tarkhal.
Eveningstar.
Thank you, Lord Tarkhal. And you must be Magister Azara. I've heard of you in the wizarding courts and social groups in Arabelle.
Delighted to see a dragonborn. Azara will curtsy and greet him in Draconic.
And he kind of replies back in Draconic, just like, I am most honored by your hospitality.
Dragon friend!
Yeah.
And I must say, this figure is most unusual. I have not encountered such a being before, and you are, sir?
Clive of the Wild Mane. Pleasure to meet ya, Melodonus.
A Melodonus. A melon. Mela, if you prefer, if you wish. But Melodonus. Clive. An interesting name for my tongue to say. Clive.
I imagine there's like a little puff of like heat that comes out with
well, not heat. It's so little speckles of like foamy liquid come out, and as they hit the ground, they hiss and sizzle. like acid.
Well,
Like,
Dwaggy.
My apologies.
As the two like are just trying to say each other's names at each other.
I
Lalimalada. Nadel Mull.
Well, I'm to understand we received a letter late last night that you wish to take on my lady's work. Is that correct?
Indeed.
Ah, yes, marvelous. Lady Vanifer Braywinter is most gracious that you have considered her offer. I have some details, including that of payment and of exactly what you would be acquiring and from where, if you would hear it.
Please do tell us.
Of course. Allow me to, if I may show you with some magic.
he waves his claw, and an illusion kind of stretches out over the table, and it shows Eveningstar, and it shows like a little kind of map, almost like a little kind of magical map of the area.
To the northwest of Eveningstar, deep in the Tempest Valley, there is a castle. It is set amongst the mountains, and it is something of a ruin now. I believe that there are some common names, locals for it. They call it the Haunted Halls. This castle is actually Castle Braywinter. It was belonged to my lady's family long before your Crownsilver name came to possess these lands, long before even Eveningstar was built. This was long before the Spell Plague. Castle Braywinter lays just in this valley overlooking the river. Inside, my lady believes that a relic of her family's history is located. You see, during the events of the Spell Plague and such, they had to abandon Castle Braywinter quite rapidly. Many things were left behind. They've re-established themselves in Arabelle and have continued to prosper since, but my lady, upon doing her research, she is quite the historian, I must add, has discovered this relic was left behind. The heirloom itself is a lantern made of onyx and studded with rubies and stamped with House Braywinter's crest of a shadowed moon behind a mountain.
A lantern, you said?
Yes, a lantern, an onyx lantern.
During this whole time, like, you know, when you have a laser pointer with a cat and they like can't get it, that is exactly Clive with this illusion. He's just like swatting at it and can't like touch it, and he's getting real upset.
Tail switching back and forth.
I always hold this then.
He waves his hand, and the map coalesces into an image of this lantern. So it kind of, you see Clive as you swipe, it seems to just whoosh, get caught up into dust, and it becomes this lantern, this black lantern with these kind of hexagonal sides, rubies studded in each kind of corner, and then stamped with a crest at its base of a mountain with a shadowed moon behind it.
We believe, according to images and descriptions of the item, this is something of what it would look like. I'm afraid I've never seen it, so this is my best guess. We believe that the lantern would likely be located somewhere secure within the house. It is something of an important relic to House Braywinter. My lady would like to offer you the sum of 4,000 gold for its return.
Considering the price, and that you chose to hire adventurers such as us, as opposed to anyone else.
Muck. Yes.
It leads me to believe that this is something of a dangerous mission. Tell us what lies inside the house.
Unfortunately, we do not know. I have not managed to make my way there. I'm unfamiliar with the location, and my affairs keep me quite busy. Lady Braywinter herself, she has something of a phobia of the outside, so we have no scouting reports. There are a lot of rumors regarding Castle Braywinter or the Haunted Halls. People talk of ghost stories, undead, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, we are unable to neither confirm nor deny them. My lady offers this sum as a sort of catch-all. If it is dangerous, well, you are being adequately compensated, and if it is not, she gets her relic, and you get your money. An easy task, a win-win. There is one other element to this job. My lady also noted that one of her ancestors was a notable alchemist and has a store of potions that may still yet lie within the castle. One such potion is rumored to revitalize and rejuvenate a person, making them younger. My lady would gladly offer you 1,000 gold if you could require this potion and provide it to her. She is getting on in her years, and the idea of shaving off a decade or two obviously is quite an indulgence to a lady.
These seem fair terms to me.
Marvelous. Wonderful.
I look at the rest of the group to make sure I'm not speaking for them.
Tarkhal nods.
I'm muted. Azara nods.
Clive is still swatting. Just, I'm
Oh,
not even
my
here.
apologies, Clive.
And he changes the illusion to be like a small ball.
It's like, oh no, it's fucking on. It's going harder.
So when you try to swipe it, he will like use a claw and like absolutely. Azara, you can see that obviously this is a pretty powerful wizard because he's not even concentrating, but he's moving the ball where Clive swipes it. He makes it move as if he's hit it. So it like scatters onto the floor and like he'll basically like play with Clive using this illusory ball. He's just like, yes, just keep yourself busy. Well, we won't insult you by insisting on any sort of contracted terms. My lady believes you to be honorable nobles and honorable citizens of Cormyr, and if you agree to take upon this job, you will see it done.
That we will.
Marvelous. May I request, my affairs may keep me busy. Once you have acquired the lantern and the potion, if you can find it, please do bring them to Arabelle. My lady, unfortunately, does not manage to get out much, but you will be able to find us quite easily within the city.
This all sounds quite reasonable.
Oh, well, I'm pleased to hear it. May I trouble you for one more thing?
Yes.
I must spend a little bit of time to recuperate my magical energy before I can return. Is there some way that I may acquire a peace and quiet for a moment? A few hours?
Certainly. We have plenty of rooms here.
And you are
Thank you.
personally welcome to retire to my wizard's tower if
Oh,
that would be helpful
Magister,
towards
you
you.
do. Why, you spoil me. I would be most delighted. It is always fine to witness the craft of another practitioner.
I understand. Please follow me and
Thank you, and
lead him.
good day to you, my lord and lady, and to Clive.
Acid spits everywhere. And then he clicks his fingers and the ball disappears. And he's just...
What happened?
As he kind of, as Melodonus leaves with you, he turns to you, Azara. He's just like,
A wonderfully quaint creature, that Clive. Never seen anything like him. Simple.
Adore your illusion. I will have to remember that if Clive ever gets out of hand. Thank you for that.
It seems to be something easily to distract him with.
Yeah,
Just a minor
I didn't
illusion.
know. It's quite impressive. The fact that you maintained concentration so easily.
Oh, well, I studied under very fine tutors. I'm not from Cormyr, you understand. My dragonborn tutors were quite strict. Maintaining concentration on the battlefield is very important in our society.
Well, perhaps before you take your rest, if I could pick your brain just a little bit.
Of course. Always happy to discuss the nature of magic with another practitioner.
when he smiles, it's just rows of teeth. Just stretches all the way back.
Azara's super giddy that she's talking to not only another mage, but like a dragon mage. So she's just skipping off with him, ready to talk about magic and stuff.
Yeah, I think like he's very interested in Azara. Like he asks about like,
do you know about your heritage? Are you aware of from whom you are descended?
One
of the great dragon?
I do, as a matter of fact. And she'll kind of go on about Typhandrius and tell him.
He's very interested. He's fascinated, as you tell him. Meanwhile, what about the rest of you guys? Anything you guys want to do? Anything you guys want to get
As they walk off, Clive's just kind of like, oh, you seem nice.
He did.
He did, didn't he?
Well spoken. Straight to the point.
No,
go ahead.
What? No, you go.
What did you guys think of that potion that he mentioned?
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to take one. I am invested in the natural order of things as a druid, as you know. But I'm not one to judge another's desire.
And I wasn't listening.
I was thinking maybe Dusk would be interested in a potion like that.
Why?
Well, if not for himself, I feel as though he might know people who would pay way more than 1,000 gold for something that valuable.
Would you propose we steal it?
I don't think we were hired specifically to find this potion, no?
Well, it isn't ours.
No, but it isn't theirs either. And if we're going and... I mean, looting is no foreign nature to us. If this is just loot that we find along the way, and we've not been hired to bring this back, we might be able to use this potion for something other than 1,000 gold bonus.
Mark, did I get the impression that the way that they saw it at least was like, this is the ancestral family home. We like left some stuff behind. We're trying to reclaim it. And if you find this thing, we'll reward you. Not like, I want these things, go get them.
It was definitely more of the first. Like he said that this castle, this haunted halls, was originally Castle Breywinter. It belonged to the Breywinter family. They had to abandon it, and they left stuff behind. You are in the way that Melodonus phrased it was, I am hiring you to go and get these items and bring them back. If you find this potion, we'll give you another 1,000 gold if you find it for us. That was the impression you got. Obviously, Tarkhal doesn't see it that way. He's just like, that's a dungeon. It's full of loot. I'm going to get it. You know?
I got the impression that the heirloom was very important, but the fact that the potion was an add-on is super suspect to Tarkhal.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Be suspect. Absolutely. How Agnis takes it is down to Agnis.
Agnis is really struggling because just having had this conversation with Tarkhal about trust and like trying to make way for his plans and not like thinking she always knows best, she's like, I was under a different impression, but if you feel like speaking to Dusk is the right thing to do, you must follow your heart.
Well, we should worry about it if we even find the potion. Yes, no reason to trouble Dusk until we see if this potion even exists inside of the castle.
Well, we must proceed to Arabelle once we do locate the items.
Yes.
Are you planning on bringing
we won't have
Dusk
time
with
to come
us?
back here? We have to go straight to Arabelle.
I had assumed.
Tarkhal just kind of smiles, and I think he's okay.
You wow. That was a very quick turnaround. But I trust your planning. Your planning is
as I trust yours, sister.
This is all very interesting.
Just like being judged, like the assessor is just watching this, just like
just big line between the two of them, just like
looking slightly down.
Yeah, just ever so slightly angled. Yeah, I think like Azara, in terms of, you have a very lovely conversation with Melodonus. He studies his spellbook while he is conversing with you. Glancing at it, this man knows some pretty high level magics, probably higher than Azara knows, as he is able to teleport. And he pulls out a small little crystal. He holds it up to his forehead, and he kind of blinks a couple of times.
It's like, well, my magical energy, at least for this spell, has been regenerated. Unfortunately, I'm only able to make one trip like this a day. But horses and walking, I feel that they are too slow.
Understandable.
Well, I must thank you for the wonderful hospitality and the lovely conversation as well.
Anytime. And I do look forward to seeing you back in Arabelle, and possibly we can continue our conversations.
Of course. And if you or your companions are ever interested in items or antiquities of the magical nature, I do offer them as well. I have a small business in trading such matters.
We will be sure to swing by once we come deliver the lantern to your lady.
Big, terrifying smile.
I look forward to your patronage. Now, I should do this outside. I don't want to make a mess.
Acid.
Mess.
Yeah. And he little marks on the stone and wood. He just casts a mending, and you just see them kind of fill up as he casts mending cantrip. And he steps outside and he looks around.
Please do not shoot me, archers.
He holds his hands up, and you see like a big kind of geographic sigil appear under his feet, and then he vanishes.
Zara's instantly jealous, but also just like so excited she has a magic friend.
Magic dragon man.
A magic dragon friend. It's everything she's ever wanted.
Melodonus. Cool.
He's dope.
Cool. Well, if it's all right with you guys, unless there is anything immensely urgent, I would like to end here because I would like to prep, because I didn't have like a full adventure ready to go. I didn't know which one you wanted to go through first, so I can actually prep up a cool session. Yes, go on.
Quick question.
Sure.
Just with this God communing, do we know if before we depart it would be possible to
Yeah, if you want to
tip
swap
the
some
scales?
levels. Yeah.
Yay! Okay,
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I
absolutely.
wanted to know.
Yeah,
Dope.
I think that we'll maybe do like we'll do another piece of RP to do that. But if you
Yeah.
want to do that ahead of next session, and then
Yeah.
we can do something going on with that, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. I'm excited.
Sure. Anything from anybody else?
No, this is a good session.
It's just a good setup session. We got like a new little adventuring hooks. There's a couple of different ones going on.
It's like we went to the town where there's like all of the merchants and the
Mhm.
NPCs with the little exclamation points above their head, and
Yep.
we like
Yeah.
gathered them
Yeah.
all. And
I know it was something that we talked about doing before Marcel's thing. We did the Marcel thing. I wanted you guys to come back and have a couple of different options and things that you wanted to do, and different levels of like, oh, this thing could be this and this thing could be that, and blah 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 blah. And then there's always going to be the Fae Cormier War stuff in the background. You know, that's just there. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's like in
Not a bad
Skyrim.
thing.
Like
Deal.
there's
not a big
technically a
deal.
main storyline going on, but don't you want to be a nightingale, leave the secret
Exactly.
brotherhood, be
Exactly.
a companion? Then you'll get to the
Um,
whole dragon thing.
Exactly. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, if there's nothing else, do we like fill 5 minutes, or should we just do the shout outs and then just end
You be
early?
long shout outs.
Long shout outs.
You get 100. We all get 120 seconds each to shout out whatever we want.
wow, that math.
Yeah,
That's why he stonks. That's
That's why
that's
he's
why.
stonks.
That's why I'm stonks.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Me-
Stonks. That
Can
could be your
can
next character, Shady. You could play
Stonks.
McStonks
You
the
can play
dwarf.
McStonks.
Wait, if we end up doing the dungeon crawl at level 1s, I want my guy, his name to be Stonks.
Yeah. Well, do you want it? Do you want so literally in my head, it's like Scrooge McDuck, right? You have McStonks, and he's like senior. He's like an older dwarf who's like all about money. He could
Okay.
have a son who's like, no, I don't want to be in the money business. I'm gonna be an adventurer, dad. And he's like going out to like, I'm a cleric. I'm gonna dedicate myself to religion. Like he goes out. To
my
be like
dad McStonks has always done it one way, but that system is broken, and I'm gonna mess it all up and send it to the moon.
Send
Yeah.
it to the moon.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I've created a whole new NPC family. In fact, I'm gonna put McStonks in my NPC sheet.
They need to come
McStonks,
back.
Dwarf. Cool. Done. All right.
If we are doing shout outs, could Shady and Nate just like stand up a little bit so
Oh,
people
yeah, I
can
mean-
see what's
well, no,
happening?
hang on. I mean, Shady, come on. You can't wear take the sweat.
Oh
You
my
gotta- you
gosh,
gotta-
you're
you
right.
gotta
I literally,
do the
I
reveal.
should
Hey,
not
there,
be
you guys are
wearing the-
literally twins.
I should not
oh
be
my
wearing- oh,
gosh, are you?
Wait.
It's
guys are so
cantrip on
cute.
cantrip. It's so
Cantrip
cute.
on
Look at you,
cantrip on
matching
cantrip.
Hats.
Cantripbrand.com.
Wait, I don't want to be left out. Hold on.
Cantripbrand.com. And
When
this
am I
wasn't
gonna get
Cantripbrand.com.
put in the chat.
When am I gonna
Cantrip.
get the
Snap.
cantrip shirt? I want the shirt so I can match Nate and Shady. That's what I
Oh,
want.
You
you
don't
don't
have
have
a
a cantrip
shirt?
shirt?
I don't know. You didn't have them in stock when I saw you guys at PAX.
didn't
which is
have
the
them
only
in
time I've
stonks?
seen you.
We'll have to make some arrangements.
Make some arrangements.
But yeah,
I'll make-
if you like subtle, fashionable, and fantasy TTRPG inspired streetwear, visit cantripbrand.com.
The best way to do it. Nice subtle. That's what I've always loved about it. Is it's that subtle, like if you're in the know, you look at that shirt and you're like, I know. But if you don't know, you're like, that's a damn good looking shirt. And you just, it's just a cool, stylish shirt to you.
It makes me so happy every time anyone says that, because that was literally the point when we started it. We were like, this is what we want to express. So every time someone gets
you nailed it.
And we also put an effort to make things fit good, because a lot of gaming shirts are like, oh, here's a square.
Here's a box, put it over your chest.
Gamers don't care. We do care.
I feel like shirt brands have gotten better at that recently. Like there's a lot more kind of like shirts who are like getting on top of that, Cool. All right. Well, why don't we start us off with Shady? Tell us what are you up to? Tell us what you're doing.
Hey guys, I'm ShadyPenguinn. I'm mostly doing that all the time. But if you want to see me do other noises for my mouth, you can go to ShadyPenguinn.com, because I have a ton of different videos over there of me playing video games. Some are free. There's memberships. You can be free. You can do tier 1, tier 2, whatever have you. It's a good way to support me in my endeavors. Also, every Thursday, I'm on Brett Ultimus's Astral Academy D&D. If you're looking for more role play, that is Thursday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Brett Ultimus. I am also streaming Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. through 4 p.m. That's my window. I don't necessarily start on time, but if I'm late, there's always a treat at the end of the stream. So you kind of want to cross your fingers that I am late. Twitch.tv/ShadyPenguinn. Other than that, I'll be here, of course, at Eveningstar until the day I die. I'm going to tag Mica.
Strip or something, Shady?
What?
You said there's a treat, and you said it like there's a treat. Like, do you take off your cantrip shirt?
I don't know what the treat is. I don't know.
More cantrip reveals. Oh, did you
have
tag
to come
me?
out? Yeah, I did tag you as well.
Oh shit. I'm gonna plug. Go watch Shady Strip on his streams. I'm everywhere at Mica Burton on Instagram and on Twitter. I don't really do a lot of things. I'm just kind of vibing right now. Oh, but you should follow my new Instagram at Mica Strides, because my first lesson back to horseback riding is this Thursday, and I'm retraining in Hunter Jumper, and so I'm gonna start posting a lot of pictures of me and horses. I'm gonna be riding this beautiful black and red horse named Boo until hopefully I can half lease a pony, probably a pony because I'm small. So that's really all I have going on in my life right now. I'm breaking the mold and I'm tagging Mark.
Hey, thank you. If you want to see me DM more, that's kind of my thing. Come and check out my show, High Rollers D&D. We stream every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time, and most Thursdays at 8 p.m. UK time. We have a homebrew campaign and Curse of Strahd going on at the moment. We just had episode 100 of our main campaign of Rois and 5 years of Rois. We've been doing the streaming biz. We're doing pretty good, and we're available on podcast. You can check us out on YouTube. There's literally 2 campaigns, loads of mini campaigns, side campaigns, one-offs, all of that's on our YouTube and podcast. You can come and check out loads of it. I play with my good friends for that crew, and I think you'd like it. I think if you like Eveningstar, you'll like High Rollers, and you should come and check that out. The other thing is I am streaming a lot more on my own personal Twitch at the minute, which is Sherlock_Hulmes. I'm playing loads of games. I've been playing Stardew, going to be playing some Minecraft, dedicated wham in my Minecraft. You can come and check that out. Nate's laughing.
I love that so much.
That made me so happy.
Wham. Yeah. You can come check that out. And I'm going to be doing a couple of things so on Friday. I'm going to be doing a watch party for A Knight's Tale, which is one of the greatest movies ever made.
I love that movie.
Isn't it just so good? Isn't it just so good? I know Dave thinks it's amazing as well. I'm sure.
It's a
Dave
great
is really
movie.
raving about it. Come and check that out. And yeah, that's it. Come and follow me on all those places, Twitter, all of that stuff. SherlockHulmes. I'm gonna tag Anna.
Hey, thanks. I need motivation to stream, because when I have free time right now, all I'm doing is sitting with my iPad and playing Pokemon trading card game online. And I should be doing that sitting at my computer with you all. And I'm actually pretty proud. I've mastered Henry Brand's, well, not mastered. I can now play with some skill Henry Brand's 2019 World Championship deck, and I want to show that to you and have you tell me whether I'm actually playing it well. So
do it.
Hopefully I'll be doing that. And if you want to see me do that, follow my Twitch channel /AnnaProsser, and click the notifications to know when I go live. Also, On Fridays, I'm doing the show called Extra Brains with DJ Wheat and produced by Bert Weisman, where the whole goal is just to lend you our brain power and have brainstorms that help us all learn and figure out anything that we're trying to figure out that week. Last week was super good. It was all about imposter syndrome. I feel like I learned a ton. It was really good. This coming week, I believe we're talking about communication, like professional communication and how to master it. So also just a reminder, if you have something where you're like, I could really use an extra brain on this, please go to my chat, type !submission, and it'll give you a link, and you can write out anything that's on your mind, and we will hopefully tackle it on the show. If you don't have time to do that, or you can't figure it out before the show, you can also come and you can ask things live if you want us to take a topic. So other than that, I think that is the only, and also we have Pawns and Patrons this Saturday, which is our drop-in friendly kind of like low-level dungeon crawl style show where we have a patron character and lots of pawn characters. Really, really fun, easy to drop in role play on Saturday from 10 to 2.
Nice.
And I think Nate hasn't gone. I take Nate.
I don't really have anything, so everyone else has cool stuff. So I'm just gonna chill this week, and that's it.
Just chill, baby. Just
Yeah.
chill.
Oh, it's Nizki's birthday week. So if you want to say happy birthday to her on
birthday,
Instagram,
Nizki!
it's at Happy Nizki. She's turning 3.
I have another important thing that I just learned.
Yep.
Apparently Corey from That's So Raven and Michael from Zoe 101 are brothers in real life.
Okay.
So take that nugget of information and go forth.
Anna's literally just reminded me, it's my birthday next week. So for next week's episode, because it's midnight my time, it will be Wednesday the 10th for me, which is my birthday. So
Mark, my birthday is the week after that.
February, babies.
Yeah. You, me, and Nizki.
We gotta do something.
Well,
what do you want to do?
I don't know. Just play D&D with my friends.
Everyone bring balloons in chat, please. Everyone bring balloons.
Yeah, everyone bring balloons in chat. We're gonna bake Mark a cake and send it to England.
Send it to England. Yeah, it will definitely get here in time. That's it. That's it from us. Thank you so much, guys. I will have a cool session prepped for next week. And yeah, we'll see you then. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.